Did you know that you can very easily set up a Hound Defense network very early on in your run? Or that you can deal with 3 of the most annoying enemies in the caves and ruins with ease using one simple item? Well, today, I'm going to share 16 pro tips to help you not just survive the world of Reign of Giants, but also thrive. You may be wondering, why am I doing 16 tips this time instead of 10 like in the Shipwrecked video? Well, at the time of writing this script, I have reached 1,600 subscribers. That is absolutely insane. Thank you guys so much for that. And I hope this channel can really go somewhere so I can not only provide great content for all of you, but perhaps maybe even convince Clay to somehow show some love to us single-player gamers by providing some form of update to the game. One can hope anyway. Alright, let's get into tip number 1. Do you find yourself struggling with hounds and don't know how to deal with them? Well, here's how you can manage even late-game hound attacks with ease. First, build a small enclosure near a cave entrance. Then place a stone or flint in the enclosure and ensure that it is blocked off. Then head down into the caves and find yourself some rock lobsters and befriend them. Luckily, in Reign of Giants, these guys can actually come up to the surface with you, giving you an excellent Hound Defense system. And if the mineral you locked up is secure enough, they should always be waiting around it. When you think of the best early game food, maybe you think about berries, carrots, or even rabbit morsels. But what if I told you that one of the best sources of food happens to also be one of the most abundant in every season except for winter? That's right, butterfly wings. These little snacks pack a punch when it comes to both health and hunger, making them an amazing early game food to help stave off wounds and starvation. Now, this is less of a tip and more of a warning. The Old Bell is a very powerful tool introduced in the Reign of Giants DLC. However, you are not the only one capable of using it. Moleworms can and will ring the bell when they pick it up, immediately causing a Bigfoot to spawn centered on where the moleworm was. If this happened to be in your base, then bye-bye base. The best way to combat this is to ensure your old bells are always in a chest. Okay, let's face it. Those rock lobsters may be great at Hound Defense, but not so good at fighting any boss other than Moose Goose, since they tend to be really weak to AoE attacks. So what's a good way to defeat a boss like Deerclops without resorting to combat? Well, bring your rock lobsters to a hound den and farm up some hound's teeth because tooth traps are a great alternative. Generally, 40 should be enough for any error. My favorite way to set them up is in a line, but you can really set them up however you like. As you see, they can be a great alternative to combat if you don't feel like going insane while fighting Deerclops. Want to farm Krampus like a pro in the Reign of Giants DLC without resorting to exploits? Here's a list of what you will need. Boomerangs, a weapon to deal with Krampus, armor, and then optionally a feather hat. What you must do is find a plains biome, marked by bright green grass. This is because plains biomes only spawn redbirds and snowbirds, which you then will defeat with your boomerang to raise your naughtiness level to eventually spawn a Krampus. You see, redbirds and snowbirds provide 2 naughtiness each, unlike crows who provide only 1. My favorite time to do this is during winter, as azure feathers are incredibly useful. Want to farm Krampus like a pro but don't mind using exploits? Well, here is the absolute best way to farm Krampus in all of Don't Starve. First, you must find Glommer's statue, then build an enclosure around it. Then, wait for a full moon. Once Glommer appears, defeat your little bug friend without taking the flower, and exit the game. Once you load back in, you will have a Krampus waiting for you, and another Glommer. You can continue this as much as you want, and eventually you should be swimming in Krampus sacks. Okay, that sounded kind of weird. Now, this is a tip that works in both the Reign of Giants DLC and Don't Starve together. But something not a lot of players know is that tentacles are incredibly easy to kite. It's all about timing. You see, tentacles have a one-hit kiting pattern. Essentially, you must hit once, let them attack twice, and hit again. Rinse and repeat, and you should be able to conquer the swamps with ease. No more wasting boomerangs. Uh-oh, summer's here. And in Reign of Giants, that means you are in for a very bad time. You see, fires spread instantly, so if you don't have an ice fling-o-matic, every second spent in your base is very dangerous. Luckily, you don't need an ice fling-o-matic. You can simply make a summer home, as I like to call it. One of the best places to do this is in the desert, as you can capitalize on flowering cactuses. Want to take it a step further? Put 9 blue gems in your chester like this, and once the full moon hits, you will have Snow Chester. Snow Chester can cool thermal stones for you, allowing you to travel, cave, or explore with ease during summer. Dragonfly in the world of Reign of Giants may have far less health than her Don't Starve Together equivalent, but she is still a force to be reckoned with. Why? Because she is almost always enraged when you fight her, meaning you will always take damage while fighting her, whether it's from flames or her very hard to avoid ground pound attack. Except, there is a way to defeat Dragonfly relatively easily without any problems at all. Blow darts. You see, you only need 28 of these bad boys to eliminate Dragonfly stress-free. No more wasting armor or risking losing your world. So this tip is for my console friends, or those of you who like playing without mods. Wormholes are an integral part to any Reign of Giants world. However, they can get confusing if you don't have a good memory on which wormholes are linked up to which. Well, there are some items that are really cheap and have a map marker, such as the sign or the science machine. Using these items at both exits create a marker that ensures that you always know where your wormhole leads. Your second autumn is supposed to be a very happy time. You survived a full year and now you are rewarded with one of the most pleasant seasons in the entire game. Except, the second autumn has its own seasonal danger, Bearger. Now, Bearger may seem intimidating and will absolutely demolish your base, however, Bearger can be far more good than bad. If you don't have an old bell or aren't playing as Wagstaff, then tree farming is pretty annoying. Luckily, Bearger's destructive powers also targets trees. Simply take Bearger through the forest, and you will have more wood than you can ever use. Also, the forest will even help you by defeating Bearger for you in the form of tree guards. Beefalo are an amazing source of food and warmth, but the problem is, you have to defeat them first. And they tend to swarm you if you decide to attack one of them. So what's a good way to take Beefalo out one by one in the world of Reign of Giants where the Beefalo Bell doesn't exist? Luckily, it's not actually that hard. Simply hit one of them and then run away, but ensure that you let one attempt to hit you. Then, when the rest de-aggro, you will still have one following you. Lead it far enough away and you can eliminate it with ease. Heading down into the caves to do some spelunking? Maybe you should pack some traps. These things will help you deal with 3 of the most annoying mobs that you will face down there. In the cave levels, spitters and cave spiders will spawn, primarily around the Thule Site plug. Luckily, traps enable you to deal with these guys while avoiding most of the damage. Then once down in the ruins, traps will allow you to deal with dangling depth dwellers with absolute ease as well. There are 2 very powerful items that can be refueled, the Lazy Forager and Magiluminescence. The only issue with these 2 items is that if you forget to refuel them before they reach 0%, then they will break and disappear. So be sure to remember to refuel these 2 great items before they break. In the world of Reign of Giants, the caves and ruins are incredibly easy to regenerate, allowing you to obtain an infinite amount of underground resources. All you need is this right here, the Seed of Ruin, which is dropped by defeating the Ancient Guardian, who is really kind of a pushover. Then you can use this on the sinkhole you wish to regen, and boom, a brand new set of caves and ruins to explore. Be careful, however. Anything left in the caves when you regenerate it will be deleted. This also can delete limited items such as the eye bone, eliminating Chester completely from your world. Uicus is pretty hard, and is especially hard on Reign of Giants where you are forced to have no friends. So what is a good way to defeat this gross snotty lamb guy without having friends to dig you out? Well, you can actually use a different kind of friend, the pigmen. Funny enough, these guys will actually come dig you out of the snot while also attacking Uicus for you, leading to an epic, easy Uicus battle. And there you have it, 16 tips for the Reign of Giants DLC in Don't Starve. If you learned something new or just liked the video, then be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you aren't already. Also, if you have your own Reign of Giants tip, go ahead and leave it in the comments down below. And if you want to learn 10 interesting tips for Don't Starve Shipwrecked, then check out this video here. This has been Polarlotus, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.